Hello, today the dev team at Embark made a Twitch AMA or Ask Me Anything, so basically Twitch chat was able to send questions and Embark Dusty would handpick them and submit them to Oscar, Matt and Rob, who were all playing on stream. This lasted about 2 hours and a half, which is very long, and there were many answered questions with many cool things that I have to tell you about. So this video might be a bit long, and for this reason I will not include every single question and every single answer, but I made a Reddit post where you can find like literally everything with time codes and stuff if you are interested in digging more into certain stuff or what you care about the most, if you want to go see the details and exactly how the devs phrased it. I will have a link to that in the description, as well as a link to the VOD on Twitch and YouTube. Alright, so let's start right away. I'm gonna talk first about the emotional moments. Basically, Rob is a very sensitive and emotional guy, he said that, and some question was about what made the devs cry during development, and Rob gave the longest answer about how he's cried many times working on the game, and he cries often during meetings and stuff because he's so proud of his team. And at the very end of the stream, we're gonna talk about it again later, but he got very emotional and he was telling us how much he loves the team and working on the finals, and how he wants to spend the next 20 years working on the finals. And he mentioned stuff such as wanting to add dragons, helicopters, bulldozers, and that season 18 is already, like up to season 16 or 18 are already being discussed internally. We're gonna talk about literally every of these things a little bit more later in the video. So yeah, the crazy stuff I just mentioned, I will get back to. So let's talk about first the gameplay features and upcoming content. In 7.6, we are currently in update 7.4, so 7.5 is coming Thursday. In 7.6, they said there will be tweaks to multiple melee weapons incoming, with a larger focus on the sword specifically. And if I understand correctly, it will affect the sword movement, but the values, like the damage values, will be buffed. A question was about the dagger and sledgehammer, like it just said, can you talk about it? And the dev recognized that they need attention, and they are talking about short-term tuning of these weapons. They have bigger changes planned for melee in the long term. They just can't focus on that right now. They mentioned that in the future you will be able to customize your player statue, no details on that, and they say that before this is possible, we will have a way to differentiate statues from medium, light and heavy players. So the 3 body types should be different in statue form. Someone asked if we will be able to emote in the lobby, and Rob said yes, it could be coming soon, but it depends on a dev's vacation schedule. Someone asked if it would be possible to have the flamethrowers fire change color depending on the skin that we are using. So for example, having blue or purple flames. The problem is that it needs to stay understandable for every player that it's still fire. Someone asked if we could get multiple stickers on a single gun. So instead of the one slot, if we could have multiple ones, and they said it's very hard due to weapon mesh complexities, and also there are skins that have logos on them, so if you put stickers and hide skin elements, that kind of sucks. You have the different scopes and sights that might hide the stickers, so it seems to be very complex, but they did still say anyway that it's planned. Someone asked if we could have a stay with team option after a match, and Rob said it's already in the dev build. So this system, when you finish a match and you ask your teammates to stay with you to queue together again, already exists in the private dev build, and it's expected very soon, but no more information about that. Someone asked the age-old question of keyboard and mouse on console, and they said it's planned still, but console rules make it tricky, and they have no date to give us yet, because basically they have a lot of constraints to make it work with Xbox and PS5. Someone asked about having more map movement tools. So you know how on some maps you have drawbridges, ziplines, jump pads, stuff like that. They are confirming that we will get escalators, possibly for Season 9, and escalators are things that Rob specifically mentioned like 3 times during the stream. I think he's really into escalators, so Rob really wants escalators in the finals. Someone asked about the crane wrecking balls, which are very brittle, like they touch a wall and instantly break, which goes kinda against the whole purpose. And the devs said it's very hard to keep track of everything that's been done or not, everything that's been tested and released, or that is still tested, or stuff that has been tested and then thrown to the bin. So they thought it was already fixed in the game, but maybe not, and they say the rework is coming in 7.6, I believe. And in 7.9, it's been leaked by Rob. We will be able to select the voice we want for our contestant without it being tied to the face option. Will we get new specializations? They said yes, more are coming, but they are keeping it vague because they cannot tell us what or when, so no more info on that. For limited time modes, the devs love them, and they sometimes use it for balance testing. Wacky ones like Blast Off and Heavy Hitters will return, and they expect to have a LTM tournament mode, or like arcade tournament mode, they said, which they had announced in the Season 7 preview event, if I'm not mistaken. They said we would have tournaments where you could have, like, for the first round Power Shift, second round TDM, and final round, I don't know, Blast Off, something like that. That's my understanding of it, so that sounds very fun. And they also answered a question about why, for example, Heavy Hitters is not available in private matches right now. And they explained how they cannot host every LTM in the game at once and constantly because it's very complicated. If they change a gadget that's in one of the modes, or if they change basically anything, they have to make sure it works in every single mode that's available. This includes private games, LTMs, so that adds a ton of work for stuff that not many people are gonna be playing. They also mentioned how they cannot have them all at once because if they enable every mode, there will be way more people playing private matches, which means there will be fewer players playing online. Someone asked about if we would ever have PvE modes, and that's when they mentioned how the update to the AI dummies, if you remember, until Season 6, I believe, the dummies in the training range were static and they didn't have any AI in them. Now we have dummies that move around. We have dummies that shoot back. In a very recent patch, they even made the dummies feel more like players, and like they made them smarter, I believe. So all of this is basically them working on AI, and the end idea is to have, it's a step towards new ways to play the finals. And they also want to use it for onboarding, meaning teaching new players how to play the game. So maybe new players will have the opportunity to play like a tournament, a full tournament against AI. I believe they did say they were wishing to make PvE modes. Someone asked about a surrender option in World Tour, and Rob was instantly happy about it and was like, yes, I want it. He even mentioned how he proposed this idea himself, but Matt and Oscar fully disagree, and Matt explained how they believe the comeback potential is part of the fun of the finals, and if one of the teams just leave, that means there are 3 teams and 2 cash outs. So of course one team is gonna get the victory for free, while the 2 other teams fight it out, and that means one team is getting bored. The whole balance and dynamics of the game is thrown out of the window, basically. They talked about the ranked skin choice system. They didn't say they already know what they are gonna do. They gave some hints at what options they were considering. And they are considering a token-based system, just like in Overwatch. So in Overwatch, at the end of the season, depending on your rank, you get a certain amount of tokens. Basically, you can spend your tokens on any weapon you want to apply the ranked skin to it, which is great, because right now, in some seasons, for example, right now, if you reach Emerald 2, but you do not care about the Road Shield, you hate it, you never want to play it, well, good job, you now have an Emerald Road Shield that you will never use, so it's kind of frustrating, so a token system should fix that. They said if you miss out on Ultimate Battle Pass rewards, you will get a way to claim them later. Ultimate Battle Passes will not be available ever in the Legacy Battle Pass system. They did say how Ultimate rewards might come back as separate items in a special store, and one of the devs even mentioned, like quickly in a sentence, a CNS store, like as an example. So I don't think they have something fleshed out just yet. I don't think we can really draw conclusions, but basically If you buy the Ultimate Battle Pass and you don't manage to get all the Ultimate rewards, you should have a way to get them later. But the Ultimate Battle Pass rewards, for people who never bought the Ultimate Battle Pass during the season it was released, will not become available again. Someone mentioned a motion blur bug. Someone asked about the medium class's identity, because the medium class, when you select it in the game and when it's presented to you, it literally says it specializes in healing. But this is not the case anymore. Every class can heal. Medium is not that unique anymore. So they agree that medium needs more variety and give it its own thing. Someone asked, what about the fact that you are adding gadgets, weapons and specializations every season? How will that look down the line in like 10 seasons? They are afraid the game is gonna get bloated. So the devs say they are aware of this, and they do not want to bloat the game with equipment being added every season. About achievements, so Steam achievements, PlayStation, Xbox achievements, they cannot just add achievements like that. So I don't know if it's impossible like forever, if we will never get new achievements, or if it's just extremely hard and not a priority, but I am pretty sure we are not gonna be able to get new Steam, Xbox and PlayStation achievements into game. Someone asked if we would get a public stats API to like basically pull data directly from the game. So, and Rob says he really wants it, he would love that, but it's a lot of work for a small team and it's not a priority just yet. Now let's talk about some fun stuff, Easter eggs and lore. They said the devs absolutely love fan art. Rob did say, maybe because he got too excited, that he encourages fans like use and quote-unquote steal Embark assets to create stuff. So basically, he's encouraging you to make music, make paintings, make 3D models, use the logos, the assets from the games that you can get your hands on, and make non-profit fan art. Of course, you cannot take logos, print them on t-shirts, and sell that. That's not what he says. What he says is if you want to make fan art, if you want to make cosplay, if you want to make creative videos, you are encouraged to use whatever the hell you want to make creative stuff. He encourages it, and he says that's how he got into the industry in the first place. Basically, they said they are inspired by the community fan arts. They encourage you to post it on the Reddit and on the Discord server. And if they see it, if they love it, if they are inspired by it, your idea might just end up in the game. Whatever you make, even if you think it's not good enough, even if you think your drawing is not good enough, even if you think your video is not good enough, they will love it. Make stuff and share it with the devs. They will love it. They will absolutely love it. Someone asked if we are gonna get real-life OSPUs, and they confirmed it instantly. They said yes, they have signed a contract with a company to make real-life OSPUs a reality. They said it's coming soon too, which is very surprising. And they even hinted that it's gonna be tied to an in-game event. Someone asked if the contestant face models are modeled after the devs themselves, and they say no, it's not the case, except the new pets, the new UFO alien pets, called something like Blorbo or Bob, I don't remember, who is in fact modeled after Rob, which is very funny. Someone asked what Scotty used to play when he was a contestant himself, and Rob said he's not sure, this shouldn't be revealed just yet. Scotty's class is still supposed to be a mystery, and it will become relevant in future seasons, so it's gonna be a part of the lore. And he also talked about how Holto will have a limited time event in Season 8. We didn't get any more information on that. When it comes to their favorite cosmetics, Oscar said it's the camera sniper rifle, which he played on stream. Rob said it's the O.R.B grenade, which is not in the game yet, so this is a leak. We are gonna get an O.R.B grenade that's coming soon, according to him. Rob answered what his dream content for the finals is, and he said escalators, helicopters, and I'm putting the pieces together myself here, but he mentioned how on Seoul there is a platform on the Seoul hospital area that he wants to do something with. And if you know what I'm talking about, on the very top of the hospital, you have a platform with an H on the ground. They did mention the H, by the way. So this is a place for helicopters and choppers to land, right? For emergencies. And then Rob mentions a chopper like 2 or 3 times during the stream, or helicopters, whatever. So he wants helicopters to land on the Seoul hospital, right? Or at least sold to have a helicopter that spawns there. Maybe we could use it as a vehicle. We don't have any information on that. And he also mentioned how there used to be something in the Monaco construction site that has never made it to the live game. And when I heard that, I was like, I said on stream, oh, bulldozer, maybe? And like 1 hour later, when asked about his dream content, he said escalators, dragons, helicopters, and bulldozer. So Monaco construction site used to have a bulldozer, and we might see it again in the future. That's crazy to think about. Someone asked about team names and like if it would be possible to have custom team names when playing. Oscar, and then we got a hint towards the fact that we might be able to choose our team name in custom matches. No more info. Someone asked if we would get more unconventional weapons such as a blowgun or a slingshot, and they say why not? Anything can happen in the finals, so they are not against the idea of having wacky, weird weapons. Matt mentioned how it's hard for new players to get a grasp of the game, so they need to help players get on board without watering down the game and making it too easy or too simple. Oscar says he wants more wacky limited time events such as blast off and heavy hitters, but that they are clearly making more of these. The way he phrased it seemed like they were adding more soon TM. Someone asked how long season 2 took to make, and they said it's a bit too specific, but they give examples. So they say most seasons take 3 months to make, but some features are in the work for longer, like the season 6 bots in the training range that took like 6, 9 or 12 months. Some maps can take 6 or 10 months to make. New weapons take about 3 months. Monaco took like 16 or 18 months because it was, I believe, the first map they made, so they had a lot to learn, etc. Someone asked if we would get some Viking-themed cosmetics, and they said yes, soon. The Shack 50 is going to get an animation pack, but the animator is on vacation, and Rob sent them a message, and they replied during the stream saying it's coming soon TM, and Rob also said it looks amazing. Someone asked if Heavy will ever get a glitch option, such as the glitch trap or the glitch nade, and the devs revealed that the glitch trap used to be on the Heavy when testing it, but it's not in the plans to give Heavy a glitch option right now. Someone asked if the Heavies will ever be able to lift up casual stations, and apparently this used to be possible. It has been tested, but it was a bit too much and unbalanced. Rob says it was not unbalanced as a heavy main and that it was amazing. And apparently heavies could also pick up lampposts as temporary melee weapons and even cannons. Someone asked when we would get a bread barricade, and they say they did scan loaves of bread for this purpose maybe. But right now they are considering a barricade rework for season 9 or season 10, because they need to be entirely rebuilt, the way they function and the way they deploy, because they are aware how deployment is extremely clunky and frustrating. And they mention that one Reddit post that said, who would win, Barricade versus Pebble, which made them laugh a lot. Can we see our ping, packet loss, etc. in numbers, not just icons? And Rob says it's kinda irrelevant, but the community keeps asking, so if they really want it, then we will get it. So I want to ask about getting more terminal attack maps, and probably not, because it's only a small percentage of the player base that plays that mode, so they focus on the most popular modes first, and they can't do everything at once as a small team. The devs did shout out the official wiki, saying it's useful even to them, because since it's hard to keep track of what's in the game or not, what made it or not, they can literally go and check out the patch notes from there, they can go and check out the actual features and weapon stats and stuff like that. So big shout outs to all the people who help on the finals wiki. So yeah, this was an anime full of very interesting questions. The devs were all very nice and cute and very invested. Rob got very emotional at the end. He told us about how he loves the game and wants to work on it for 20 more years at least. And he got so emotional at some point he had to cut his mic because he started crying, which was very wholesome. I hope this video was useful to you. Thank you so much to my YouTube members, and special shout out to TJ and Megelu for being tier 3 supporters. Thank you all so much for the recent love and all the subscriptions. Thank you so much for all the Twitch subscriptions as well. You have supported me immensely recently, I really appreciate it. And on that note, I will see you at the finals.